2K developer recently held a live stream talking about his experience on 2K expectations for 2K24. And if you guys are interested in the inner workings for 2K from the development side of things from a developer's perspective, you come to the right place. It's no secret that a lot of players in the 2K community feel like there needs to be gameplay changes. Some feel like NBA 2K24 needs to improve drastically from 2K23. And when it comes to making changes from a developer's perspective, a 2K developer's perspective, it more times than not proves to be really difficult. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you feel or have said in the past, man, if 2K fix something, they break 3 other things, or if they fix this, something else is broke? Now, a lot of us had those feelings, and I'm guilty of having those feelings as well over the years. But did you know that that was an absolute fact? And this is directly from the Czar, a developer for 2K. I'm gonna read off a bunch of quotes from this live stream. He says, initially, you gotta try to fix everything without breaking anything else. And he says getting to the bottom of current issues within the gameplay, it could prove tricky. He says that it's a very rare occasion that a development team can come up with a solution that could fix everything. And I get the feeling that a lot of us in the 2K community feel like, well, the game was there already. What is there to fix? Revert. We're not even asking to fix, we're asking to revert. Maybe take some of the good qualities from old games and apply them to the new game. And that's very easy for me to say as a viewer because I'm not a developer and I don't know what it takes to take some of the old aspects or things that the community has generally loved about some of the old games and apply them to a new iteration or release for 2K. And I know a lot of y'all aren't gonna like this, and I gotta make a quick note and put this all in proper context because this is not just some random developer who just came on the scene. The Czar has been hosting for years live streams to help bridge the gap between the community and the development team. But oftentimes most gamers, they don't know anything about what it takes to develop a video game, so a lot of things just get lost in translation and there's a lot of back and forth. The gamer just wants everything fixed, and what's considered fixed is gonna vary from gamer to gamer. So within that context, the Czar goes on to say you fix one thing and you're gonna make another thing worse. But which one are you willing to live with? And hopefully this will give you guys some insight to 2K development or what the developers experience when they're out there trying to develop a 2K game. The Czar goes on to say there is no golden solution. And he gave this analogy that I think a lot of you guys are gonna find interesting. Do you guys need your left hand or your right hand? Most people, when asked that question, considering that they have 2 hands, most people would say we need both our hands. But to quote the 2K developer, the Czar, he says in video game development, having both hands is not an option. This 2K developer even acknowledges that folks and players respond to him saying, well, this game has exactly what we're asking for. Why can't you just apply it to 2K? And I think that's a legitimate question from a gamer. You know, we just want the best experience when we get on the game. I understand that logic. And like I mentioned earlier, a lot of things just get lost in translation. But here's the issue here, especially from the responses that I've heard or on the live stream from this 2K developer. It seems that 2K is still working within the basic framework of what it actually started with. And I imagine they expanded on what they started with and started adding, and then there was just a ton of layers that as a developer 20 years later to go and fix that stuff, you got to take this deep dive in and move some stuff around and just to kind of get to this area where you want to make that adjustment for the coding. And when that developer makes that adjustment to the coding, you don't know what else is gonna affect. But here's my biggest issue and something I've been calling for 2K to make happen for the longest time. I'm not certain if we're ever gonna get to that place where we're not just taking baby steps by continuing to work within that same framework that was first established 20 years ago. Now, I'm not 100% certain that that's the case, but it seems like it from the developer's response. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments. And my biggest issue is 2K, you have enough money, you have limitless resources. Do what you gotta do to start the game from the ground up, just like you did 20 years ago. But this time when you're doing it, you have 20 years of experience developing the game and 20 years of feedback from thousands or millions, I should say, millions of players that played the game. So developing from the ground up will prove to be a very different experience than what you did 20 years ago when you had no feedback and you was just going off the cuff. And when the topic of defense and some of the improvements that need to be made to defense to make the game more balanced came up, players on the game feeling like 2K should redirect their focus to certain aspects of the game that really need improvement, like defense. This 2K developer said, "We always have a team designated to every aspect of the game, including defense," which helped bring some clarity, because I know a lot of players in the community feel like there's a handful of devs that work on everything that 2K is delivering. And to help give you guys some perspective on the scope, how large 2K is, I'll reference something that Ronnie 2K mentioned in a live stream, saying that 2K headquarters is like a whole different world. It's gigantic. Hundreds, if not even thousands of developers are working in collaboration to deliver you guys a 2K game. Naturally, the gamer's gonna say, if there's so many people working on the game, why do we have these type of flaws? And more importantly, why do certain flaws arise from one year to the next if they weren't in previous versions of the game? And that reverts me back to my previous statement, saying that when a developer dives into like a coding that's already been done and established and they try to make adjustments, surely something else is gonna be affected by the adjustment that they made over there. It'll touch down and affect something way over here. Now, I know a lot of you guys watching this video have a ton of questions on some of the things that I just explained and some of the things that I mentioned the 2K developer had to say. So I'm gonna host a live stream for all your questions and hopefully provide you guys with some answers. And we're gonna do this with the AllCity team. So if you guys are interested in that, I should be starting the live stream early this afternoon. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in. I also wanna mention, if you guys are looking for players to run with on 2K in preparation for 2K24, come on out and join our Discord. 25,000 members, 25,000 players for you to run with. The link for Discord will be in the description below. And y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K23 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.